From this distant vantage point, the earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam.
This shit's dope, actually. Drinks. Okay. This is literally when a girl invited me over for drinks and then just suggested we build a fort and have sex in it. And we built a sweet fort. I talked to my aunt for 2.5 hours on the telephone the other day, and this is one of the things she said was that the only two men that ever called her beautiful were Legally Blonde. That means is that like a lot of some bullets have like a notch cut in the back of them so that they like kind of fishtail when they leave the barrel. And so there are like all these stories in war where like a man levels a gun at another man and the bullet leaves the barrel, and then because of the fickle flight of the boat-tailed bullet, the bullet will swerve around his intended target and hit somebody else, and like the man, like the person in between is like convinced that they are gonna be shot. You know what I mean? Like there's just it's just this kind of miracle, but it happened all the time because of the boat tails and the bullets. I don't know why they even did it, but soldiers would notch it themselves and make the bullets do weird things. It's just like weird trench magic. It's crazy. That's all I know about that. This is where I went to after the hill. I left the hill and drove to the Mojave Desert, and that was where I slept for a while, and it was like the best sleep. It was hot and dry, and the only thing you could hear while you were falling asleep was the sound of a mouse pushing sand around, like digging a hole. You were trying to fall asleep, and the thing that was keeping you awake was like the tiny mouse digging a tiny hole.
guess ever since I was younger, I always associated space with like a better world, a better, like a new shot at making things a little bit better. Because I think even as a kid, I identified that we really sort of messed things up on Earth. I think that in a few generations, a view of a wider universe will be much more common than just this planet-based, terra firma-based society that we have now, where the only things that matter are the immediate surroundings on the planet and the economies thereon, and sort of meaningless economies and meaningless wars and social class structures that only apply to a very, very small sliver of the universe at large. And if you pull back far enough on a global, on a cosmic, a galactic scale and a galactic timeline, nothing that happens, all the horrible dramas and pain that are manufactured on Earth really don't matter. And in a lot of ways, the humankind is just is such a blip on it all, and it's always been that smallness that blew my mind and made me want to keep learning about it and seeing the universe through a truer and larger and more relative lens.
Put the record back on.